if I am being honest, the reason you're stuck choosing between being a generalist or specialist isn't lack of information. It is a fear of being nobody. Well, we all have this collective anxiety in VA community that if we don't pick a side, we are replaceable. But so we paralyze ourselves. We stay in learning mode for years because it feels like safer than actually starting. But here's the reality. Every high-paid specialist you see on LinkedIn started on generalist, who was simply too useful to fire. And you are using specialization as an excuse to avoid the risk of starting. So stop waiting for a perfect path. Pick a direction, get your hands dirty, and let the market tell you what you're good at. Hi, I am Nini and welcome to Remote Philippines Job. And today, let's talk about the real difference between being a generalist versus a specialist. And alin nga bang mas bagay sa'yo? Kahit na, beginner ka pa lang. So, without further ado, let's begin. So what is a generalist VA? A generalist VA is someone who offers many different services. Parang jack or Jill of all trades. For example, executive virtual assistant. Even though an executive virtual assistant sounds like a niche, it's actually a generalist role. Why? Because you handle a wide range of tasks, just like the inbox, the calendar management, the travel planning, the personal and household tasks, the data entry and research, and also the basic copywriting or social media. So you may not be deep expert in all of them, but you know how to do them well enough to support your client daily. Now let's proceed sa advantages of being a generalist. So first is that mas marami kang services na pwedeng i-offer. At the same time, marami ka ring industries na pwedeng pasukan. Also, mas malakas ang demand ngayon ng mga executive virtual assistant at clients prefer hiring one reliable person instead of multiple specialists. On the other hand, ang downside naman ng being generalist is that mas crowded ang market, mas mahirap mag-stand out, at some clients prefer specialists, just like bookkeeping. Now, ano naman ang specialist VA? So, ang specialist VA focuses on one specific service or role and becomes really good at it. So, example, social media manager, video editor, graphic designer, bookkeeper, podcast VA, real estate transaction coordinator. So usually, you can even niche down further. Just like for the podcast VA, you can be financial podcast only. At the same time, for the real estate VA, you can be transaction coordination only. So this makes you a master of one instead of doing everything. Next is the advantages of being specialist. So first is it is easier to market yourself as an expert. At the same time, meron kang less competition. You can charge higher and premium rates, and also the clients trust specialists faster once you have proof. Now, for the downside of being specialist, it is harder for beginners with no experience. At the same time, kailangan ng portfolio, upskilling, at positioning. At you must be actively market yourself, just like in the LinkedIn or even in the IG. So which one is right for you? So ask yourself honestly. Still exploring what you like? Well, start as a generalist. May industries ka ng mahal at alam na alam mo? Well, be a specialist. So gusto mo ng mga variety at mabilis na task? Well, be a generalist. At gusto mo ng deep work at long-term na mastery? Well, be a specialist. So the important truth is that you are not locked into one path. Maraming VAs start as generalists, then later transition into specialist. So you should know how to gain experience, build confidence, and identify what you actually enjoy. Now, if wala ka pang experience, the easiest and safest path is start as generalist. Why? Because mas marami kang job opportunities. Mas mabilis ka makakuha ng first client at mas malalaman mo kung ano nga ba talaga ang gusto at ayaw mo. So later on, kapag may clarity ka na, you can niche down, you can specialize, and even raise your rates. So now, I want to hear it from you. Do you see yourself as a generalist or a specialist? So comment down below and tell me why. And yes, that's it for today. So those are the real differences between being a generalist and a specialist, especially kung beginner ka pala. So if you apply everything you learned today, mas mapapansin ka, mas magiging professional ka, at mas tataas ang chance mo na ma-hire. So if you're looking for a real and legit clients, well, good news. We are always hiring here at Remote Philippines Job. And the first thing that you should do is to fill out the application form in the link description below. Second, we will reply within 24 hours or less. And third, you can also earn extra through our referral program. So, hindi mo kailangan ng experience para magsimula. What you need is an effort, skills, and a right mindset. So, good luck and I hope to see you in our next video. And always remember, keep learning, keep growing, and work smart, not just hard.